purpose-driven purpose-driven entrepreneurs in building profitable digital businesses rooted in authenticity and alignment. Known for her bold, direct teaching style, Tamira empowers her audience to ditch outdated marketing rules, stop shrinking to fit a niche, and start monetizing their full story, skills, and voice. Her signature philosophy: you are the brand, you are the content, you are the algorithm, drives her work across content strategy, platform growth, and digital product creation. Tamira blends corporate marketing expertise with entrepreneurial grit, helping clients turn visibility into income without burning out or selling out. Whether she's leading a workshop, delivering a keynote, or mentoring behind the scenes, Tamira equips everyone, everyday experts to confidently show up, get paid, and scale with intentions. Please take it away, Tamira.
Well, thank you. I was like almost forgot I wrote that. Like, wow, that sounds like a pretty cool chick. Like,
And
I
I
would
read the
listen to
whole
her.
thing.
Yeah, I thought I made a short one. Okay. But yeah, I am Tamira. I'm very excited to be here. And one of the things we're going to cover like five major things today. And one of them is what I call the old way versus the new way. And what I want to challenge you to do is just, when you get the opportunity to speak, when you are in front of the room, to consider a couple things. Number one, before I keep going, how much time do I have?
20 minutes, and I'm going to put the timer on just for your. Is
Okay.
that okay?
That will help me a lot. I would love that. Okay, so when I talk about the old way versus the new way, we are deep in a transition right now. We are deep into the web, what I call web 3.0, right? So web 1.0 was back when we had the big, we once we hit toward the end of that, we had the big dot com bubble. Like I lived through that. Raise your hand if you remember the dot com bubble, right? And then from there, when Facebook and Instagram and I was going to say ChatGPT, but Snapchat, right? The other chat that became a big thing. That's more like Web 2.0, which was social, right? The internet of things, right? And if you recall, the way the internet looked in Web 1.10 looked way different than it did in Web 2.0. Like if you ever see some of those old screenshots, it was so basic and so just not impressive looking at all. And now we are in Web 3.0 where we are basically moving toward, if we're not careful, becoming one with the machines is what a lot of people fear. So we are in the world of artificial intelligence. And because of that, one of the things I want to say before we get too deep into the discussion here, that's why I don't have slides. Because with ChatGPT, with phones and laptops, someone can literally take your entire presentation and screenshot it, record it, and they have it their own. And if they were dastardly enough, they could monetize it. So it's more important than ever in this new way, in this new world, that you have your own personal brand, that you have your own flair, that you have your own frameworks, because they can steal the recipe, but it doesn't mean the sauce is going to taste the same. And you are the sauce. I want you to understand that because that is a huge piece of what we are talking about today. You are the niche, right? You are the brand, you are the content, you are the niche, you are the algorithm. And I'm going to give you $1 million piece of advice right here. The content is in your phone. If you are struggling with what to post, you are the content. Just remember that, right? It's about sharing your life or sharing your business, right? What are you working on in your business? What are you doing in your business right now that you can share and attract your ideal client to you? Now, I'm not saying get on here and share your proprietary information for free and give all of that away. I think we have to be smarter than that and put those things behind a paywall. But when we move into the new, that is what we are moving into. You can get paid simply by existing. So let me give you an example. Okay. Earlier today, I recorded myself basically taking laundry. out of the dryer, right? Now, I can use that recording multiple ways. I can use that recording as a background, just as what's called B-roll, and then I can talk about whatever I want to on the screen or the voiceover. Just yesterday, I posted a video of me making coffee at my friend's gorgeous coffee bar in her kitchen. But the video, the voiceover, is me giving away a content tip about how to create content. That makes me the content. I'm doing something that I would be doing anyway, and I record it, but then the voiceover attracts, and I got new followers from that, right? I went live, right? On my TikTok, I share marketing, mindset, mentoring, and monetization. And yes, I have to count it on my fingers. So I remember all four. And because proving you don't have to be that brilliant to do this, just trust me on that, right? And then I always say the fifth M, because something you probably don't know about me is I haven't had a period since 2009 because I had a hysterectomy. So I'm somewhere between perimenopause and menopause, right? And I know that menopause causes a $26 billion impact to the economy by way of lost productivity. Some women choose to leave the workforce altogether. And when you are an independent solopreneur, productized one person business, that's a big deal to you if you are having symptoms and you can't work. So I always say menopause is the fifth M that I talk about on my social medias. So I went live. A bunch of companies reached out to me. They sent me samples, and I went live and shared their samples and sold their product. And I got an affiliate commission. That's what I call getting paid to exist, right? So we live in this wonderful time period where you can basically meld your life, your business, and everything together so that they just fit seamlessly together. The old way said, well, if I want to talk about menopause, I need to create a channel specific to menopause. And I'm a little bit of a rebel. I've always bucked up against that. Like, I can do what I want to do, and I can talk about what I want to talk about. So I've always had these content pillars that I've talked about, right? My grandkids and family and makeup and skincare, and I love food, right? So you can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about on your social medias. You just make sure that you are the voice, that it's your voice, or it's recording of something that you are doing, and that it is authentically you, right? So it would be inauthentic for me to talk about birth control. It would be inauthentic for me to talk about fertility because I definitely did not struggle with fertility. Let me tell you, I only have two children, but I didn't try. So I did not struggle with fertility. So it would be inauthentic for me to share that in a way that makes it seem like that's something that I went through. Now, I have a friend who has her business built all around fertility. So if I wanted to have her on a joint Zoom, like Andrea and I have done joint TikToks live before, we could talk about her business and she could share her story, but it's not me pretending that I've gone through that or that I really know anything about it when I don't, right? So you are the brand, you are the content, and the content is your phone. What if I told you in 2022, I made over $11,000 from content that I had created in 2013? Would you believe me? Well, I'm here to tell you that I did. In fact, I walked away with closer to $50,000 from content. Some of it was newer content, but a lot of it was old content that I had created as early as 2011, between 2011 and 2022. So if you are like a lot of people, like I'm here in Chicago and we went to that house music festival and we walked, it's just a few blocks from my friend's condo. And everybody was carrying their selfie stick, right? Most people are into content creation in some way, shape, or form. Everybody had their phones out and they were recording everything. Reminds me of that meme when it's like, when you're at the concert and you say, "Can you feel the energy?" We can't. We didn't care. We were recording it anyway, right? So the point is you're recording content. You are, sharing things on social media. You can repurpose and reuse that as many times as you want to. Let me see. I'm just going to say video. I want you to put in the comments how many videos you think I have in my phone. How many recorded short and long form videos do you think I have in my phone? You're all way too low. I can tell you that right now. Andrea, you're too high. Last I checked, which was earlier today, I think it said 22,196. And between photos and images, and I have iCloud optimized, so this isn't even all of my photos and images and video. There's 49.46 gigs on my phone for my photo app. My photo app takes up 49.46 gigs on my phone. Now, I know I'm an outlier. Most people don't have that much content on their phone, but it's not unusual for people to have 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 images and video on their phone, especially in my network, right? So if you were to put $1 value on every piece of content in your phone, that's the value of the content that you have in your phone that you are not monetizing. Okay. So in my case, we're talking about $122,000 minimum. I know I can get a lot more for it than that because I've already gotten it. Right. I know a woman who was part of, I won't say the platform, she was part of a creator platform when they created where they pay creators to create content. In 1 month, she made enough to buy a house with cash. And all she did was she went back and she used old Snapchat, old Instagram story content of her two young children. And she reposted it with links to affiliates. So she's not only getting paid once, she's getting paid 2 to 3 times on that because she's getting paid from the platform. She's getting paid anytime somebody buys what her children were wearing in in those videos and across multiple platforms. Because if you have Amazon affiliate and you can find the same product on TikTok shop, you see where I'm going here? So you can get multiple paid multiple ways from the same content. And that's one of the things I teach in my course, Pin Profits Mastery. It's about working smarter, not harder. So you can see where this is what I mean when I say get paid to exist. I posted a video of me in what I call the backyard, which is along the shores of Lake Michigan, right by my home. And I'm down there, and everything that I had on me and with me, including the wig, I have an affiliate link for. Now, I wasn't in the video saying buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. I was just making note to the person who's an aspiring creator that you can get paid to exist because everything from my underwear, my wig, my clothes, my shoes, the selfie stick, the lawn chair that I have strapped to my back to sit at the beach with, everything, even the iPhone, even though I didn't get it from Amazon, I can get you an affiliate link to everything associated with me. And if you buy, I would get some sort of commission. Because here's the thing, you're on social media anyway, you might as well get paid. I'm not here to convince you to ditch what you're doing to become a social media influencer or UGC creator. I'm saying it is an option to you as an additional stream of income, as well as it is what you should be doing to promote your current business, is sharing who you are, who your business is, because your business is an entity, which is a person, and your business has a voice, and your business has a personality, and you should be sharing that to the world in order to grow that community, to grow that audience, and to build your business and build it stronger and make it immutable where no one can shake it or take it from you. Now, does that say I have 7 minutes left? 7 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what else I have. Okay. So your personality, your experiences, and your viewpoints help create your unique brand, right? So, like I said, it would be really weird for me to get on here and talk about going fishing on Lake Michigan. Now, my dad and my brother, my nephew, they could do a whole channel on that, right? I have an uncle and his wife. She is amazing at planning family RV and camping trips, right? I'd love for her to put, because she has this whole binder and the way plans the meals and everything. It's down to a science. She should really create a digital product and sell that. And then they go camping anyway, record themselves as they are camping and build the community and then offer that digital product to them. I was recently on the I guess high because I know how many selfies I have. Yeah, sometimes it's 100 selfies to get one that you like, right? And then I was just on my family's on the committee for my family's family reunion, the first one we had in many years. I wasn't the lead person, but that's something I plan to talk to the lead person about. You should put together an ebook, a little manual to help other people plan their family reunion, because I just saw a stat that said that like since the 90s, black family reunions are down like 47% because the elders are dying, the people who know how to create them, and then there's other unsolved family issues is the other reason why people aren't having them. But you see how you can find and monetize just about anything that you are good at that you can do better than someone else, right? It's about what do you have documented? How can you document the steps that you do? I saw someone said they pack lunches, they record packing their lunches, they have content. I post so many lunches when I travel. That's you, Nikki. That is something that you can monetize, right? And you don't have to create an entirely separate social media, because I'm going to tell you, most people don't even post enough, and they can't even manage one social media account. So to have multiple social media accounts on multiple platforms is too much for most people. So it's really about it being authentically you. And the old school of thought used to be, well, if you have a beauty channel and then all of a sudden you're talking about packing your lunches, you're going to lose your followers that were there for your beauty channel. No, you won't, because followers actually really don't matter that much anymore. It's all interest based. Think of yourself as your own cable network or your own series of cable networks when you're creating your content. And again, just make it sure it's authentically you and you can give your own unique spin, perspective, or your unpopular opinion on it. And that is how you will grow your audience. I used to do instruction sheets at work for manufacturing, and I've been thinking of creating some travel related. Yes, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. So I've got just a little, I can't, it's really small, I can't see it, but I think it's under like 2 minutes. So if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
I
I
removed you from so you can see better. Go
Thank
ahead,
you.
Jasmine.
Okay, thank you. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I do recognize the actress and sister, so thank you for letting us know to say your name. Great presentation. Wondering for people who are just getting started on this journey, of sort of posting more, maybe posting more about their life, what would be a few things that you would recommend to sort of help them get on the road and not get overwhelmed by the whole process?
Yeah, I would say think about what you have planned for the day, because overwhelm can be a very real thing. Okay. And I've even struggled at various times throughout doing this with overwhelm because I have a brain that wants it all done and it wants it all done now. And I have to stop and I have to just focus on 2 to 3 things. So as you are planning your day, when you get up in the morning, think about where are you going and what will you be doing and what 2 to 3 things do you want to capture. You really only have to record, if you're doing short form video, 2 to 3 minutes max, no more than five, because you can edit a lot out, and from that 5 minutes you can have hour not well I won't say you can't turn 5 minutes into hours, check yourself, Tamara, but you can create a lot of different pieces of micro content from that 5 minutes is what you can actually do. So, if you do 10-second clips, that's what, 5 times 6, So like 30 clips right there. And that's just assuming you start where you end one, you start the other, but you can mix and match it. Like you almost have like infinite options. So that's the number one thing I would say. If you're going to the grocery store, do you want to do a haul video? If you are going to get your hair done, do you just want to do a what do you call that? A day in the life of whatever, pick your 2 to 3 minutes that you want to make sure you get those clips for the day. That's what I would say is the top to manage the overwhelm. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome, Janice.
Hi, Tamira. Thank you. I'm wondering if you would just run through those 5M words again. And secondly, do you focus on one or two platforms?
That's a great question. Okay. So the 5 M's are marketing, mindset, monetization, and mentoring leadership. I just wanted them all to start with M. And then the fifth and silent M, because of those hot flashes, is menopause. Okay. And this is for Jasmine as well. My philosophy is very much like dating. Now, your girl is single. You have your pair and a spare, right? So you have your primary and you have your secondary platform. They cannot be owned by the same entity. So you need to know who owns what. Facebook owns Instagram and Facebook. So Facebook and Instagram cannot be your primary and secondary. Okay. Threads, you cannot do Facebook and Threads or Instagram and Threads because they're all owned by the same company. So you have your pair and then you have a spare. Okay. And so your spare is somewhere that you just have a presence. You might once a week just dump a bunch of content on there. You might do it once a month. You might do it once a quarter, but you have a presence there. Okay. The reason you don't want to do two that are owned by the same entity is, for example, Facebook, WhatsApp, Threads, and Instagram might all be down for the day and now you're screwed. So that's why you don't want your primary and secondary, right? And it's not that you have to have completely separate content for the two of them, but I started this because back in the day Instagram was not owned by Facebook, but Instagram allowed me to create the content and it had the best creation tools at the time. And then I shot it out everywhere. I shot it out to Twitter, I shot it out to Tumblr, I shot it out to Facebook, but then they all stopped playing nicely. And so it wasn't as easy to just, put it in one place and shoot it out to all the others. And then I was quietly just putting stuff on Pinterest, and Pinterest just really started blowing up and sending me all kinds of traffic as my spare, because Pinterest was not one that I had to be on all day, every day. It just made sense. And so that's what I work with my clients on, is your pair and a spare. Yes, chef.
Oh, so my question is, what do you make of the doing posts? And it's so fast. Like I do food, that's what I do on my posts. But when I look at them, it's like seconds this, seconds that, seconds that. It makes me dizzy. But is it really the way to go about it? Like so fast?
I think the way to go about it is what works for you.
Okay.
Right? That works for some people. But if it doesn't work for you when you're creating it, there's a misalignment, and that misalignment is going to translate to the viewer, and you're not going to attract. So you want your content to attract. So for some people, those sped up videos actually attract people to them, because you have to, for every time you create a piece of content, it's very important to think about a couple things. Number one, what is the objective of that piece of content, right? And if you are doing a sped up video for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, it's not really for someone to actually follow that along step by step. It's to build audience. It's to build connection. It's for them to go, ooh, ah, and maybe follow you, comment, engage, maybe go to your profile and check you out. So that's much different than if you are selling a cookbook, right? You could use the call to action and say, go check out the link in my bio for my cookbook for the actual recipe. You could do that, but it's not to give them the experience of being there with you and being on like a TV show making the recipe. Because even on the TV show, they put the turkey in the oven and then they take the one that was in there cooked already out, right? So, you know, it you just know what your intention is, and then where do you want to take them to next? What's next? It's so important to be intentional in what you're creating the content for. Where in the value journey do you want them to take them from, to by the end of that piece of content, to where do you want to take them to next? Do you want to take them to your cookbook? Do you want to take them to a page where you give them something more for free and get their name and email address so you can stay in contact with them in case all the social medias are down for whatever reason? You can still email them or text them. So what do you want them to do next?
Thanks. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. And I just learned that we have a birthday girl. Happy
Oh,
saw
birthday,
that.
Barbara.
Happy birthday.
Thank
And
you.
I think you had a question for Tamara as well. Did I see your
Yes,
hand raised?
I'm technically challenged and I'm just trying to figure out how you photograph what you do in your daily life and then speak over it on your phone. I don't have a clue how to do any of that.
Okay, well, do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
I don't know. All I know is it's smart. It's smarter than I am.
That's so funny.
That's amazing. I think that's calls for a connection.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
great.
let's just
That would be
have
great. I do want to answer
have
the
a-
question for everyone though. So I will be honest with you. In the beginning, I just took my iPhone and I have this makeup chair. So it's like a director's chair that sits up high. I would take my traveling makeup case, which was like a suitcase, set it inside the chair, okay? And then set my laptop on top of it so it was up high, tilt the screen just a little, and take my iPhone and set it right up where it wasn't sitting on the keys, but between that little space between the keys and the screen, and I would record. That's what I did for years. Or I would stack my iPhone up against books. I didn't, but I was creating content for 4 or 5 years before I bought my first ring light and tripod. I didn't buy that until like 2017, 2018, right? I bought my first mic, I think, in 2018. No, I actually bought one before that, but you know, you can buy mics really, really cheaply. I think the cheapest mic I have, this like lapel mic, and it came as a set of two on TikTok Shop. I think I paid $6 for it. I think it was more to ship it than what the actual mic was. You don't need a lot of equipment. In fact, if you go on my Facebook, which is in the chat, there's a picture of my setup, because I said the caption is, when I say work from anywhere, this is what I mean. You can see one of my tripods, the other one, the phone is in and took the picture, but you can see my laptop, my ring light and tripod. You can see both mics, and it all fits in a backpack along with my planner and a couple other notebooks. So it doesn't take a lot.
So
It doesn't
if I
take a
go
lot.
back to you taking the laundry out of your washer, I can take a picture of me taking the laundry out of my washer and then speak over that
Yes.
picture.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You
I'm
have to
going-
do it from inside of the TikTok creator, the TikTok camera. You can do it from inside of there. You can add a voiceover. You can do it if you upload it as a video or reel on Facebook and click edit. It will give you the option to edit the audio, and you just press where it says voiceover, and you don't need a mic to do it. It just sounds better with a mic. And YouTube does care about audio quality, for example, so that's why I got a mic. But yeah, you can definitely add voice over an image. You don't have to do it, but you can.
What I do, I record my voiceover on my phone, transfer it to Canva, and I'll just add it as an audio to the Canva video.
Yep, that's an option also. You can
Yeah.
actually record it right in Canva too.
Yeah, Canva does audio recording as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of options, but it can definitely be done. That's not something I really work with my clients on, but there are, like I know there's like iPhone, what is that called? Like iPhone camera school or something like that. And there's a lot of free content on YouTube that teaches that stuff
Beautiful.
too.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Samra.
You're very
Okay.
It
welcome.
was very very good. I learned a lot.
We'll set up a Zoom.
Before we continue.